Hi everyone, welcome to Farsight's ET News, the news show that tells you what the extraterrestrials are up to starting in late January 2022. This ET News show complements our human news forecast that is published at the end of each month. But this ET News show is published only on Farsight's video streaming service, farsightprime.com. Farsight's ET News is cutting edge, more than a bit controversial, and absolutely need to know. And it is what you need to know. I'm Yemi Janae from Farsight. Time travelers, we have something new for you. We have just opened a new chapter with Farsight using our expertise in filmmaking. We have begun to do some high-tech things to our cameras and to use them to take video recordings of extraterrestrial spaceships. We have great cameras, super awesome cameras to be exact, that have been set up to do the job, and we know how to use them. We now fully understand that the ET spaceships are almost always invisible to the human eye, but they can be seen easily in the infrared bands of electromagnetic spectrum in the middle of the day. So we modify our cameras to be able to see the ships, and we have already started to shoot and analyze footage of the UFOs. But they are not really UFOs, are they? Since UFOs are unidentified flying objects. We know full well that they are full spaceships that are flown by extraterrestrials. That's where the remote viewing comes in handy. The ships are really amazing. We have seen them fly in incredible speeds, and they do seem to be trying to hide themselves 98% of the time. Mostly not from us, but from themselves. You see, they fight, and it's not peaceful up there. But we figured out one of their technology weaknesses that allows us to take these videos. Moreover, some of the ETs flying some of the UFOs, the friendly ones, are not trying to hide themselves. As long as we have initiated the efforts to see them, they are letting us see them. So, the good ETs are not forcing themselves on us. We are reaching out to see them. They seem to like that, and we do too. But we are also seeing the bad ETs. They can run, but they can't hide. At least not from Farsight. Remember, last month I quoted the biblical story when Jesus said to doubting Thomas, "Because you have seen me, you have believed. Blessed are those who have not seen and have believed." Well, all of us can now see and believe.
Like, it kind of feels like a tour, but because they are all from different places, and they seem like kind of excited with the movement that's going on.
But that is really irksome, is to realize that human authorities must have known for decades that you could easily take video recordings of ET spacecrafts using an IR camera running at a high frame rate. And they continue to spew out the nonsense about finding a few sightings that they cannot explain. And they say they will open up a new committee or a task force to study them. What a lot of junk they have been sending out. And the media was like a lapdog on a leash, doing and saying whatever the authorities told them to do. We sometimes think that the mainstream media is so stupid that they are offered as proof to the rest of the galaxy that humans are too dumb to be set free. Like I said, it's irksome. But hey, we know what's going on now, and there is nothing anyone can do about it. The ET spaceships are all over the place and really easy to find if you know how to do it, especially during the middle of the day. Farsight is going to be telling you how to do it over the next few months. The explanations of exactly how and when to do it are being presented in the Farsight's intelligence briefings that can be only found on our streaming service, farsightprime.com. The intelligence briefings contain really deep information about all types of subjects, and they are available to our paid subscribers on farsightprime.com. In fact, the only reason we can take these videos of the UFOs is because we have found a weakness in the UFO cloaking technology that makes them invisible in visible light. But if you use IR correctly, then you can take great photos of the UFOs.
And it seems like this is a place where they are not in the minority. Seems like this is a place that a lot of the other subjects around are just similar to them.
The issue of reliably taking videos of real UFOs is more complicated than we would think. Also, with good cameras, even the camera settings have to be set just right. It's very important. And then there is the issue of properly using the computer software to analyze the UFO footage. So, our intelligence briefings are like personalized classes on exactly what we do when we take the videos and when we analyze them. So, if you want to know how we do it, now you know where to go and find out. I'm going to be showing you a clip today that relates to what we are doing in this edition of ET News. We just started taking UFO videos, so we will get better with time. We are learning a lot of new stuff each and every day, but this is a good beginning. In the future, we will also be presenting our UFO videos with lots of data regarding the settings used for each recording, including camera position, focal length, date and time, location, weather, camera orientation, and all sorts of stuff. Remember, we are not trying to prove that the extraterrestrials or UFOs are real with our videos. If any one person or group tries to do this all by themselves, those crazy debunkers will pile on and make a mess of the information. So, rather, we are trying to show you that we can record them easily now, and we want to encourage you to do the same. We are trying to decentralize UFO video recordings. And in March, when our new show starts, that focuses exclusively on the UFO recordings. We will show you how to take good video of the UFOs with your cell phones, and if you don't think we are doing something exactly right, well, you do it the way you think is perfect. It's fun. We are constantly getting better at this, and so will you. So we can now connect our ET News show with these new video clips. There's always a trouble when we use a video or picture taken by someone else, since we don't know if the video or picture is fake. That is what gives the debunkers the ability to trash all analysis of people's videos and pictures. But we can trust videos and pictures that we take with our own cameras. And our goal is to enable you to be able to take similar of even better videos yourself. There is nothing that the debunkers can do about that if everyone is making their own videos. The debunkers will look like the real idiots. And the response to the debunkers can always be, say whatever you want. The people know what they record with their own cameras. So now that we can get great videos of the ET spaceships, we can use the videos for targeting in our remote viewing sessions. You see, the theme of the remote viewing session for this month's ET News is extraterrestrial activity that directly relates to the UFO footage that we at Farsight have taken during the month of January. With our new show starting in March, Intisam will be hosting that show, and she will be focusing totally on the physical aspects of the ET spacecraft that we are watching with our cameras. But here in our ET News show, we are trying to use remote viewing to gain greater insight into what they are doing up there. Our target will become more specific to particular video clips as we proceed over the next few months. But for now, we are making a general connection between what we record on our cameras, relating to the UFOs and our remote viewing sessions for the ET News. Just be patient as this matures and evolves. So take a look at this video clip. With each show, we will present a new and different clip. We will not repeat clips since we can get so many. With this clip, we are trying to focus on the speed and quantity of the ships in the sky in any one time and place. We are slowing down the footage a lot so that you can see them. They are small in this video, but you can still see them. And remember, they are totally invisible in the visible light. They are only visible because we shot them with infrared or IR under certain conditions and with the correct setup. Clusters of nearby cities, natural land with peaks, almost desert-like. There are subjects everywhere. And again, yeah, there's this shooting upward and downward situation. It's like it's like they're taking photos of the mind. And guess what? Farsight has a new monthly podcast show on farsightprime.com. Released just now, the first episode is about dreams. Here's a clip from the podcast that relates to our ET News show.
So let's go January 2nd, the day before. And there are two dreams. And this is really an interesting one. There is a gray child who is being held captive. Gray extraterrestrial child. And I and others are there as well. I am not actually being held captive in the same way as the child is, but my activities are restricted until the captors leave. There is a search for the gray child at some point, but we hid it. And then the captors leave or are forced to leave. Now the dream ends just as the captors leave and abandon their search for the gray child. My group has some transportation capabilities, and we need to get ice from the Oort cloud, O-R-T, Oort cloud, out there where the comets are. That's what it was in the dream. Now the second dream was a repeat of the first dream, except this time it had more to do, there was more than one captive gray extraterrestrial. It has many grays who are captives. So something about temporarily needing to hide them, all of them, in a cold substance from space. And the substance was like a tan-colored gel. Anyway, so here's my interpretation of it. So this dream is really a combined two different dreams, but they were all about an extension of the same thing. They helped me to refocus on the idea that we are not trying to free just humans on Earth, but also other species elsewhere. And this includes the Greys. The Greys all the Greys inside the reptilian and Orion realm. They're all slaves. So this connects with the idea of the Essassani resistance movement. Many people from many places will be affected by what we do here on Earth. So that's what I was doing. We were having a tendency, we were starting to drift in Farsight more towards focusing on humanity, saving Earth, saving humanity, saving humans from the prison system. And what this dream knocked me back a little bit, not backwards, but knocked me back into alignment. It reminded me that, this is not just about you. This is not just about me. It's about everybody. And the Greys are not the Greys within the Essassani resistance movements. They're free, but all the other Greys within the Orion and the reptilian realm, they're badly enslaved. And in this dream, the Greys were representing not just the Greys, but everybody else that's in those realms. Yeah. Everybody else, all different species, insectoids, everybody else in those realms that are slaves, it represents the rest of them.
Yeah, it's especially with we read Dr. Jacobs' book Walking Among Us, and it really, his book, maybe even inadvertently, but it really sort of painted a picture of what their society is like from at least in the aspects of their society that are involved in the human abduction, hybridization agenda type of thing. But it's a really big deal to see that, because then you start to see, I guess you can put this word in quotes, the humanizing patterns, the personalities that shine through within those little interactions that those abductees had. And then you sort of begin to realize the weight of the conversation that we were having just before we hit the record button about how the best form of rebellion is fun, to have fun during whatever storm is going on around you, to be able to surf on those waves instead of letting those waves drown you. It's a big deal, and when you're able to do that, when you're able to ride the waves of oppression and not let them suffocate you, like a surfer does with a storm, that's a huge deal. That's a big part of rising above whatever is around you. And fun is one of those higher emotions that would come about from that liberation of self. And it's entirely an inner battle that you have in that sort of aspect. It's a big deal. And if we're able to do that here on Earth, and despite of all the crazy stuff that you see going on around us in the world that's currently a big issue, if you're able to do that with your life as yourself, it's something big that you can offer anybody, regardless of the technology that they have in their civilization. So I can definitely agree with the message of the dream. There's a domino effect of the changes that you make internally and how that shows to others that are perhaps in completely different civilizations just looking down.
And it has something to do with the removal of this golden-like structure from the surface. So I'm probing inside for this subject here, subject's inside, and this subject has very similar, kind of the same roundish face.
If you want to see the full podcast, go to farsightprime.com. It is available now for all of our paying subscribers. You guys are the only reason we can do this stuff. And we are going to continue to bring you cutting edge content that you can find absolutely nowhere else. This Farsight podcast is deep. Watch it for each month.